starting off with the 10 mistakes new investors make when getting started in real estate. Number one is not starting early enough. Okay, not starting early enough. By the way, guys, I want to let you know something. If you see any spelling errors as we go through this, you can let me know. Just shout it out, spell it out if you want. That's one thing. I think there's two things in my life for a long time that I'm not really good at. One, dyslexic, and two, I'm not a good speller. So you might find some of those along the way, but that's okay. Follow along. See if you see any as we go through this, okay? All right, number one, not starting early enough. This is probably one of the most things that I hear most often, even from all my real estate investing clients. They always say, I wish I started earlier. And actually, you know what's interesting? When I share my story with people about how I got started in real estate, and if you haven't seen those yet, check back to day 1 or day 2 and stuff like that. But when I share how I started in real estate and I got into this industry around 18 years old, even though I got started at 18 and I closed my first deal when I was 20, I really feel like I wish I got more serious about the business. I was kind of doing it like at first full time, and then I slowed down, and then I started an agency company, and I pulled back, and I started doing a lot more marketing, and then I pulled back. So real estate for me was a full-time, then part-time, and then full-time thing for me. And then over the years, I've learned how to build a portfolio, and now it's become, one of my, I always tell people there's two things about, the way I see real estate and what I do. Consulting, real estate is my passion. It's my passion. So I'm passionate about real estate. I really enjoy it. But it's not my calling. My calling in life, like my God-given calling in life, is to help other people win and succeed in life. And, I didn't really realize that until the first time I was in New Jersey, Secaucus, New Jersey. If there's any New Jerseyans, is that what you call them? Jerseyans? If there's any people from New Jersey, by the way, watching, just let me know you're from Jersey. But I was in Secaucus, New Jersey at the age of 18 years old, and it was the first time I attended a UPW event, Unleash the Power Within. Okay, and that event completely changed my life. I mean, completely. It was an event where I walked across fire the first night that I was there at a Tony Robbins event, and it was amazing. It was life-changing. Life has never been the same since then. And I've actually got to experience this event with a few of my friends too, because it wasn't the only time I walked across fire. I actually did this 2 more times. I did it with a good friend of mine, and I did it with my cousin, and it was my cousin Cassandra, and it was such a great experience to experience that multiple times in my life. So that was huge. I loved that. What was I saying? Not starting soon enough. Okay, so, real estate, my passion is real estate, but my calling, my God-given gift and calling in life was to help people. And that has been a very windy road. Have you ever experienced this before, where you kind of start on this journey and you're like, okay, I'm going to go, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to become, and all that stuff, but it ends up being like this really windy road. I know a lot of people who are starting out in real estate feel that way too. It's like this windy road, but you'll eventually get there if you stick with it. And so when I got started in helping people, I actually thought that, I actually had my, what do they call those people? Advisors in university. One of my advisors tapped me on the shoulder, was like, hey man, I think you should be student senate president. I was like, what? I was a professional foosball soccer table player, that's what I was aspiring to be. So at the time, it just wasn't in my vision, but sometimes it takes someone else to see your vision for you, right? Or at least to speak life into you. And I thank God for all the people in my life that have been there to do that. So it was him who said, it was my advisor that said, hey, you should run for student senate president. Did that. And I thought that was my way of giving back. It just came natural to me because I wanted to serve the student body. And then that transformed into the community where I ran for student senate in the city. And I thought that was my way of giving back. And as time went on, I realized, and with Tony Robbins training, I realized that my giving back was to business owners, more specifically, because you've got to dive deep. I went more specifically into real estate business owners. And that is my calling. So I would say, listen, if you're thinking about, dreaming about, wishing about real estate investing, get started now. Now is the great time. And by the way, if you don't know how to get started, You could just go over to my website, fearless-millionaire.com. I would put it up on the screen right now, but I don't want to mess up the slides. So just go to fearless-millionaire.com and you can check out the real estate assessment that we have for you. Go take that assessment and then we will help you get you started. We even have a 60-day action plan to help you get started. So don't wait another minute. Don't procrastinate. Get started now. Next, number 2 is a poverty mindset. A poverty mindset. This is a big mistake for a lot of investors. Most people think that if they don't have money in their pocket, if they just don't have the cash in hand right now, that they can't do real estate. They feel like, oh, the amount of money in their pocket right now is what they need to be successful. This is not true, guys. Hey, you know what? Let me just cut over here real quick, okay? I want to share something with you that's so important. Remember the other day where I shared with you the books to read, The Magic of Thinking Big, and The Power of a Positive Mindset? This is so important because when I started in real estate, guys, I was working 3 jobs. I was broke. I had literally no money. The only money I had was to put back into the fuel to fuel my car and then to continue on with the week. It wasn't. I was making $300 and maybe $400 a week. That is nothing considering all the expenses I had. Yeah, so guys, listen, at the end of the day, I thought I couldn't be in real estate until someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you can do this. I believe in you. That's what someone told me, and I say the same thing to you. Is this here? Look, here's my virtual tap. Ready? Just checking that out. It's my virtual tap for you. Okay. It's time for you to do this. You can do this. You can start with no money. If you don't have cash of your own right now, that's okay. Can show you a way how to do it with no cash out of your own pocket. I call this a real estate collaborator. Okay. You collaborate. You do collabos with business, other people in real estate. Okay. I collaborate with my clients all the time. A lot of my coaching clients, we collaborate all the time. If I'm helping them find the deal, I don't find the deals. That's not my specialty. But if I help fund the deal for them, or I give them advice on how to, or give them a partner, anything like that, I love collaborating with my clients. So you can do it too. That's actually how I got started. I was a collaborator. I was not in the business putting out all this money out of my own pocket. The first deal I ever flipped, right? The first deal I ever did with another investor, he's the one who had the $250,000, not me. I didn't have $250,000 for this entire deal, but because I collaborated with the buyer, I was able to get paid out of the deal, which is a sweet deal, which is around $10,000. I think that one was. It was around $10,000. So that's how you can do it. So guys, listen, remember this, write this down or type it out on your phone. Just remember this. It's not that you lack money. It's that you lack strategy. I'm going to say it again. It's not that you lack money. It's you lack strategy. And what it takes to get strategy is sometimes you just need a thought, a download. Sometimes you need a whisper or a cheer or a word of advice from someone who has experience, who's been there. So go over to the website, fearless-millionaire.com, take our business assessment, and we'll help you get started there. We'll even give you a 60-day action plan. Let's get back to the... look how easily I did that. I'm so proud of myself right now because I actually did that with no hiccups. All right. Next mistake is that people doing it alone. Don't do this business alone. Most people start off as what I like to call the solopreneur. I don't really think that's a good idea. Look, even Steve Jobs had Wozniak. I forgot his first name, right? Andy Wozniak? What's this guy's name? Okay, Steve Jobs had his business partner, okay? Everybody who succeeds big in business has a business partner. Now, listen, doesn't just mean going alone, I'm going to get a business partner. I'm going to get an accountability partner. No, or I'm just going to get a coach. No. You should always have a coach in your business and in your life. That's really important. The most successful people have coaches. However, going at it alone means if you think you're just going to do this all by yourself and you're not going to talk to anybody else in real estate and you're going to stay in your own little box and just sit behind your computer and push buttons and do deals. Listen, any guru online that's telling you can push a few buttons and do deals by yourself, listen, you need to delete that person out of your life. It's not true. Real estate is a local business. It's a relationship business. And anybody who's selling you a bag of air and a bag of rocks, anybody who's selling you a bag of air that thinks you could do this business without talking to anybody is lying to you. So you know what you tell them? I'm going to tell you what my dad tells me. Tell them to go eat rocks. All right, next, number 4 is not having an entity. Make it legal. When you're starting off in business, it's so important. If you don't have an entity set up, and this is actually really cost effective, if you go take our assessment and you go through our 60-day checklist, we actually show you how to set up an entity. We show you the steps because you want to make your business legal. By the way, if you're serious about this business, you should make it legal. You should have an entity, make it incorporated, make it an LLC, whatever. I'm not saying what entity you should have. That's something you should get advice on. But in our 60-day checklist, we show you what things you need to do and have in order to make your business legal and efficient, okay? That's really important. And I remember the first thing I did before I even the first thing I did on my first 2 deals, I did not have an entity. I did it in my own name. Very risky. My coach told me, stop it. Don't do that. And then right after those 2 deals, I went and I hired he was a local guy. He was a local real estate attorney, and he set up 2 companies for me, a real estate company and my consulting company. And at the time, I just had the heart and the desire to start giving back. So I wanted to make sure I did it officially. And at that time, I was actually consulting in goal setting, guys. I wasn't even consulting in real estate investing. I was consulting in goal setting. And for a few years, I did that. I went around to companies and individuals and private clients and showing them how to set goals and how to achieve them faster. So that was a really fun time in my life as well. All right, number 5 is not sticking with one strategy. Not sticking with one strategy. When you get started in real estate, you have to stick with one strategy first. Remember, as I told you in the previous days, I said my real estate coach told me to get stuck, like stick it with glue, like pour cement on your feet and just stay there. So, and stick with that one strategy. So what I did was I started being a collaborator. And when I was a collaborator in real estate, that's when I said, I'm going to be a collaborator and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to focus on self-storage units. I'm not going to focus on lease options. I'm not going to focus on apartments. At the time, I wasn't focused on apartments. And then I'm not going to focus on all these other ways. There's like 100 ways to do real estate, guys. But what he told me is that you're going to do this one way and that's all you're going to do. And I think a lot of investors, what they do is when they're starting out, they start hearing about all the different ways you can actually do real estate investing. And the reality is they get confused, they get lost, or they give up and they start trying all these different ways. And let me tell you, for every strategy of real estate that's out there, hold on. Guys, for every strategy of real estate that's out there, every strategy, I guarantee you there is a guru out there trying to sell you a bag of sticks on how to do it. Okay? Here's the thing. You just got to be very careful with who you're learning from. Make sure they're giving you the information, right? Information is cheap, it's simple, it's out there. Make sure they're giving it to you so that you can become successful. Anybody who's trying to get you to come, behind closed doors and share some private secret or some new trend that nobody else is doing, be very careful of that. Tomorrow, I'm going to share with you a book that I think you should read that will help you out a lot. It's a book that most, gurus won't want you to read. And trust me, this will expose any guru. So just keep it between us, okay? Okay. So that what you got to do is stay focused with people who have experience, who've been there, and can teach you stuff without, keeping everything behind a curtain, okay? Does that make sense? All right, guys, listen, this is what I'm going to do next. We're doing awesome here. We're going to jump into the next one, but we got to take a little music break because I got to get some water, okay? So let's dance a little bit. Let's have a little dance time, all right? All right, guys, thanks for patiently waiting. Number 6 is patience. Patience is another mistake that a lot of investors miss out on. Some people get too anxious in this business. They try to rush things. They try to do things very, very quickly in the business. And they think that when they get started in real estate investing that they're going to just immediately become successful, right? 30 days or less. Not true. Anyone who's telling you this, by the way, as you can hear, guys, if you hear me repeating a lot of the things about what I want you to look out for is a lot of what is taught also in the, like out there from gurus, they're going to tell you these things. So I'm also helping you avoid mistakes that you might hear online from, these Instagram experts or whatever you want to call them. Okay. So just be careful with that. So, the reality is you got to be patient. There's 30 days or less. Now listen, I have clients that I've coached and they've gone through my programs, and yes, they have closed days in like 2 weeks. But that doesn't mean they just got started, okay? They might have had experience, or they may have been in real estate already. They may have learned, maybe they cut the learning curve already. Maybe they have closed a deal or two already. Does that make sense? If you're just getting started and you think you're going to close a deal in 30 days or less, you're going to quit your job in 3 months, guys, stop it. Like, that is not realistic. That's not even thinking like a business owner, okay? That's thinking like a person who's get rich quick, and anybody who's telling you to do that or encouraging you is lying to you, okay? So just be very careful. Remember, this business takes patience. It's a long journey, not a short journey, okay? That's how real estate is. Number 7 is knowing the exits. What do I mean by exits? Exits means before you get into the deal, before you start collaborating on this deal and putting it under contract and making the offer, you really want to know what you're going to do with the deal after. You want to know how you're going to leave it. Are you going to sell it? Are you going to rent it out? Are you going to hold on to it? You really want to know the exit, because there's two parts of a real estate deal, primarily 2 parts. There's the buy, and then there's the hold or the sell, right? And that's where you have to know what you're going to do with it. That's called the exit. So you really want to know that up front before you even make an offer on the property, okay? Because when you know your exit, it's going to help you know moving forward of what you need to do and get done with the deal and what maybe your numbers are, okay? Number 8. Not enough due diligence. And notice I got the little fire up there, right? That's because if you don't do due diligence, if you don't do enough of it or do it properly, you could get burned. That's right. You could get burned. And burned meaning financially, time-wise, you could waste a lot of time. You could lose money on a deal. You might, if you don't know what you're doing or what to look for, then you could literally get burned. And you don't want to do that, okay? This is why it's so important that you get enough due diligence, you know what you're getting into, and you know about the investment. It boggles, guys, listen, it's just amazing to me how so many people can go to their job, work 40, 50 hours a week, and easily give over their money to a broker or an IRA or a 401k and not know anything of where their money is going into the investment vehicle. Okay, they don't know maybe much about the company. They just turn over their money like, yeah, you telling me I can make 4 to 5% a year? Okay, here's my money. And they don't even know about it. That's due diligence. You really need to know if you're investing in a 401k or an IRA, you should really know and find out what that investment vehicle is all about and what's going on with it. Okay, that's really important. That's called due diligence. Same for real estate investing. When you know about the property, you know about the market, you know about the neighborhood, you know what's going on, and then you know about the issues, many issues about the property, what's going on with the property itself, then you have done, and you want to do some good solid due diligence, then you can know you can move forward in the deal. This is another big mistake a lot of investors make. And I get phone calls all the time from investors where they say, oh my gosh, I got this property, but I just bought it or whatever. And I bought it in a bad way. Oh man, it is just like heck trying to get out of that, situation. Number 9 is keeping all the profits. This is a mistake. Most people are probably scratching their head right now like, Nathan, what are you talking about? I'm in real estate so that I can make profits. Well, right, this is true. This is very true. But you also have to take a portion out for your business, okay? For your marketing, for your salary, for your expenses, for example, expenses in maybe you have an office, right? All those are expenses, your telephone bill, your gasoline, whatever. Now, guys, everything I'm sharing with you, I know I'm rattling off a few things. This is stuff that you need to make sure you have an entity set up, okay? Some form of legal structure in your company. Then you want to get a CPA and make sure that you are being able to take any tax deductions available. I can't tell you that. I'm not a licensed CPA and I don't want to be. So please get some counseling, get some advice in that, because let me tell you, it's going to save you in the long run. Okay. So do something about that. All right, let's go. All right. So next is keeping all the profits, and next is Fear. This is the biggest one. I'm telling you. To me, this is the sound of fear, right? You tell me, do you think this is scary? Do you think this is the sound of fear? Yeah. That's the sound of fear. Just waiting in the background, trying to make sure that you're going to fail in life, to pull you back, to say, you're not good enough. You can't do this. Are you crazy? You're going to lose money. This is so risky, right? Fear is the number one thing. Even though I have it as number 10, I saved it for the last one, but it's actually the number one thing why real estate investors don't become either more successful or even get started, because they fear of either getting started or growing their portfolio. It's the number one issue. Guys, I remember one of the biggest things that stopped me from getting started and even making the first offer was fear. Remember how I told you yesterday that when I had my coach, I studied real estate for 2 years. I sat in seminar seats, guys, for 2 years. I flew all over the country to all these different events and heard all these promises that I was going to get rich, right? Or wealthy in real estate. And I was doing the activity. What every seminar failed to tell me, which is for a reason, what every seminar failed to tell me was that the biggest thing that was holding me back was my lack of clarity, my lack of confidence, and that was the things that I was lacking to help me propel me to actually do the business. Guys, listen to me very carefully. Please pay attention. If there are people who have never, ever gone to a seminar or sat through a webinar and have become successful in real estate, listen to what I just said. There are many people who have never been to a seminar or a conference room to listen to about real estate and how to invest in real estate, or who have ever been on a webinar, a late night webinar at past 9 o'clock, right? To teach you how to get into the secret of real estate investing, right? And they've become wildly successful. Why is that? What's the difference? Right? The difference is not education. I'm a big believer, and you should be educated about real estate investing. You should be educated in business and real estate and business and marketing and sales. You have to be in negotiations. All right. But my point is, guys, listen, I love seminars. Okay. But there's a time you have to pull back. Hear me out. I'm being very clear with this. Seminars and self-education will help improve your life. Yes, it helps improve your mind. Okay, it helps stimulate your mind. It helps improve it. The problem is, what a lot of people do is they just keep going and they believe and they think that if I just go to that event, my life's going to change. That's who I'm talking to. If that's you, you don't have to put any messages in the comments. But my point is, just know this. If that's you, you need to stop, because all that is fear. If you believe that the next event or the next thing, whatever it may be, whatever that thing is going to make you more successful, that's when you need to say, stop. It's not the case. And I've been that, and I not only experienced that in 2 different industries, but I've seen so many people experience that. No. The reality is, what you need more of is clarity and confidence. And those 2 things help propel you into cash flow. That's what the Fearless Millionaire brand is all about. So fear is the biggest barrier to a lot of real estate investor success. Even if you're just getting started. If you're just getting started and you're trying to do your first deal, then this could be a big barrier for you. If you've done 3, 5, 10 deals and now you're trying to scale, and maybe you're going to a different strategy, this can be a big barrier for you as well. So once you learn how to dance with fear, once you learn how to control it and manage it and poke at it, because it's not going to go away. There's no such thing as being fearless. There's only fearing less. Does that make sense? It's understanding how you can fear less and understanding how to manage those fears, because fear will never go away. It's just how it is. It's just part of life. So guys, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope it's clear. If you have enjoyed these 10 mistakes, let me know. Just put either a like or a comment. Say, yeah, that was cool. That way I know if you like those. And if you want more of that kind of training, I will deliver it for you, especially during our crushing COVID our dailies here that we got going on. All right, the next thing, I want to get into some questions, and then whoa, what just happened? I want to jump into any questions, and then let's jump into some questions, and then I want to share with you the greatest real estate movie of all time, what I think. All right, so Bruce says, what is a realistic investment? Well, Bruce, that's a great question, and it would depend on where you're starting, okay, and what level of real estate. If you're just getting started, I don't recommend jumping into real estate that's in the millions of dollars, okay? Don't jump into commercial real estate overnight if you've never done, this business before. You want to start small. You want to start with and work your way up. Okay, that's really important. Start small, work your way up. So it might be single family houses, it may be a duplex, might be land, might be a small storage facility, right? But it's always small, okay? It's always small. So it might be something that you have never thought of before, because guys, there's a lot of different types of real estate, okay? I'll give you another way that's starting small is short-term rentals, but subleasing. Here's what I mean, because I've done this before, and I've done it, ownership, and I've done subleasing. Short-term rental subleasing is a great way to get into real estate, but with very little money out of your pocket. What do I mean? Basically, you would do a collaboration with a property owner, and you turn that into a short-term rental, and then maybe you split the deal. You split the profits. Could be a 50-50 split. Could be, I don't know, whatever you negotiate, and that's something we could walk through you with. But that's some of how I've done my transactions. I'll give you an example. Just recently, a most recent transaction, we got into a property with literally no money out of our pocket. We didn't buy the property. We even didn't have to buy the furniture. We just bought like a few things like, excuse me, no, I'm sorry. We didn't even buy. We needed a few things. I remember we needed like a coffee kettle and some pillows and stuff like that. We didn't even pay for that out of our own pocket. We actually had the owner, we got a checklist that the owner needed to get. They bought it. They paid for us to go and do it. And then we started renting out the property and splitting the profits. Now, what is that? Essentially, guys, this is called property management, because what you're doing is you're managing other people's property for them on their behalf. So that's property management. Anybody can do this. It's kind of very common, and it's available to a lot of people out there. All right. So Bruce, thanks so much for jumping in. I appreciate that comment. Oh, Bruce, you got another the website. Yes, Bruce. The website is. Oh, let me fix this. This looks like, there we go. All right, let's do that. So Bruce, the website is fearless-millionaire.com. I can put that up on the screen. Give me 1 second, sir. I can. I know I can. I think I can. It's right here. I think this is it. No, okay, well, it's kind of right there. By the way, I'll mention this. So that is our website, fearless-millionaire.com, right there, scrolling on the bottom. However, if you do / freedom-formula, what is the freedom formula? I'll give you a brief overview, but you can read all about it on the page. Guys, like I said earlier, I truly believe that the biggest thing that holds real estate investors back is fear. And what I did is I ended up creating this course that you see that's scrolling down there. I created this course because I discovered after 10 years of being in the real estate industry, in real estate education and seminar industry, I realized that so many people were tripping up over the same things over and over again. So I took all my knowledge and experience and I put it into a program that leads people step by step to overcoming their fears, identifying their biggest barriers, their biggest bottlenecks, what's really holding them back. This is something you won't find very common, guys. I know this sounds weird or maybe like not normal when people talk about real estate investing. That's because it's not sexy. Talking about fear and mindset and stuff, and when it comes to real estate, is not sexy. Most people think like, well, what's the market and what's the numbers and what's all this stuff? But the reality, guys, this stuff matters the most. It really does. Because again, like I said earlier with that example, there are so many investors out there who have never been on a late night webinar, who have never bought a software, who have never stepped foot into a conference room to learn about real estate investing, and they have done thousands and thousands of dollars in money, millions of dollars in profits, and also thousands of deals, hundreds of deals. What's the difference, right? That's the difference right here, down here. Freedom Formula is the difference. It's understanding your roadblocks and understanding the fears that are holding you back. So you can go check out that website, Bruce. And that program will help you out a lot. It's our number one best-selling program that we have. Also, Bruce, if you go to our website, you can also try out our 14-day clarity challenge. Okay, it's a 14-day challenge to complete clarity. I call it Clear the Fog. Right at the top of the website, you can click on that and go through that. We've had so many existing members and new members going through that program. I'll share some of those testimonials here in the near future. So many people going through that program saying it's one of the thank you, but it's one of the best real estate program. One of the best personal development programs they've gone through. That was huge. I was like, whoa, what about Tony Robbins? Shh, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. No, but seriously, it's been so great to see so many people go through that program and have real great results. All right. So guys, now, I want to show you the most, what I think is the best real estate investing movie, this maybe of all time. Okay, I know I've seen a lot of movies about, wealth building, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, the stock market, brokers, and stuff like that. Maybe you've seen, The Wolf of Wall Street, or there's a few other ones, Boiler Room and stuff like that. Maybe you've seen those kinds of movies. The Banker, and it literally is the best. I have to say, the best full real estate investing movie that I've ever seen. If you have seen this movie, post it in the comments. I'd love to know if you've seen it, or if you have seen another real estate movie then like this. I would love to check it out. Bruce, the name of this movie is called The Banker. It's called The Banker. So that's the name of this movie. And it's actually fairly new. I think it just came out maybe like this year. Might have been 2020 actually. And listen, guys, there's some parts in there. You have to watch this movie multiple times. I've already seen it twice. Because there's parts in the movie that, not only do I believe and know, but you'll actually get a lesson in negotiation. You'll get lessons in strategy and market. And you'll also, guys, I don't want to give this movie away. I'm not going to even tell you that, how it ends and all that stuff. Of course not. I don't want to spoil it. But I will say this, it's based on real events. And that's all I'm going to tell you. But it is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best real estate movies you can check out in your entire life. If you're interested in real estate or you've been investing, The Banker is one of the best movies out there. It seriously is. I love it. It's a great video. Check it out. All right. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Thanks so much for following along.
So, I was outside cleaning my truck. Yes, I still clean my truck. Lo and behold, FedEx comes, and guess what's inside? Let's see here. Oh yeah, my first check, you guys. Can you see that? $34,000.
You can do this! I believe in you! All right, give yourselves a round of applause.
With the Fearless Millionaire program, and before taking the program, I was having trouble being comfortable on the phone, knowing what to say to people, and just putting more money in my pocket. And I can honestly say, I am fearless.
You can do it. Don't give up. You are fearless millionaire. Yeah, it's right now. This is a video right now. Hello. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hey, like this.